Right, so Captain, you're ready with
Yes.
the latest in court. Let's start with, the Anas number 12 expose. That case has, come up strongly.
Yes.
What's up with that?
So this morning you guys were discussing Ahmed Swali.
Yes.
Yes, and it is one of the cases that the name Ahmed Swali has been mentioned. You notice that when Anas aired that expose number 12, which exposes rot in Ghana football, it led to Kwesi Nyantakyi, the Ghana Football Association president at the time, found himself culpable, and through that, FIFA banned him. And he also lost his job as the president of the FA. And consequent to that, he was charged by the Attorney General and he's been arraigned together with Abdullah Al-Hassan, the representative of the Football Association, the northern part of the country. And the case has been pending in court for a very long time. Ever since they have been charged, they have been in court, and the progress is that there's nothing happening in relation to the trial. The trial has not started. And the reason the trial has not started is that Ahmed Swali is supposed to be the key or the star witness in the matter because the investigation and other thing done, and in relation to the charges pressed against the two of them, Ahmed Swali is the best fit to testify as the key prosecution witness in the matter. However, we noticed or we knew what has happened to Ahmed Swali. Somebody killed him and he's dead. And so Aremeyaw Anas was the one that stepped in and said that he's coming out to testify in relation to this very matter. And one of the things that happened in the initial stages was that lawyers of Kwesi Nyantakyi said that if Anas was coming to court to testify, then the point is that they want to know who is in court to testify in the matter. You know that Anas has a hood on. Anytime he's walking, his face is covered. And so Justice Marie Lewis Simon, sometime on May 17, 2023, made a ruling. And the ruling was to the effect that Aremeyaw Anas, before testifying in open court, will not marks to Nyantakyi in chambers so that Nyantakyi will know that this is the Anas that is sitting in the box testifying in this matter so that he will not have any doubt. And anytime Anas will be in court to testify, he will have to repeat that. Then Anas and prosecution said no. In fact, Anas came out with a letter and said that, look, I don't feel safe. This order by the courts, I cannot go with it. So I am not coming if that's the case. And the prosecution thinks that their case is built on Anas coming to court to testify, even though they have other witnesses. The court, every time the case is called, the court made the point that if you don't bring your witness, I'm going to discharge the accused person. Then prosecution said they are going to appeal against that order of the court. They filed appeal. The processes, how to get the processes to the Court of Appeal also start for a very long time. But thankfully, that has been done. And then the Court of Appeal has heard the parties, both the prosecution and the accused persons in the matter in relation to the appeal. They filed their processes before a three-member panel, Justice Anthony Opon, Justice Kweku Tewia Akabuafo, and Justice Abuaje Tando. And now the point is that on the 30th of January, today is 15th, yeah. We are halfway, right? 30th of January, they will be back in court, and when they are back in court, the Court of Appeal will make a determination as to whether that order by the High Court for Anas or Max should stand, or the court would say that that should not be the case. Anas should come testify without unmaxing to Nyantakyi. So that will be the determination that the Court of Appeal will make. However, yesterday they were in court before a relieving judge, Justice Ruby Aiti, because the substantive judge, Justice Marie Louise Simon, is on leave. She sat through the legal vacation, so she's now, and she'll be back in February. So the case yesterday, the High Court was informed about the development at the Court of Appeal. And so on the 13th of February, Anas will come back to court. But before then, the Court of Appeal would have made a determination on the 30th of January as to whether that order of the High Court will stand or not.
And then the limit on police prosecutors?
So, I've had this question asked me a lot of time. Many have asked me this question anytime. Why are we having a lot of state prosecutors at the lower courts? And today I have an answer for. So I've been asking that question for a very long time, trying to understand why you go to the circuit court and you see a lot of state attorneys who are handling cases there. And so we note that the Attorney General's office has given an institution like the police the power to prosecute cases at the lower court. So, but now, it has changed slightly. And what has changed? The AG, Godfred Yebu-Adame, as he then was, when he was the...
So the former AG.
the former Attorney General.
Exactly.
But this letter was written at the time that he was the Attorney General. And the letter was written on the 7th of February, nearly a year now. And what is the letter saying? And this letter was addressed to the Chief Justice and drawing the Chief Justice's attention to a fiat that it has issued to the Ghana Police Service for police prosecutors to follow. And what is the fiat saying? The fiat is saying that, look, any case that, a criminal case, that the monetary value is more than 500,000 Ghana cedis, it should be referred to the Office of the Attorney General for advice. So if you're a police prosecutor and it's a case that you are dealing with, and the value involved, the monetary value involved is more than 500,000 Ghana cedis, it means that you have to refer the matter to the Office of the Attorney General. And that is where you see a lot of the state attorneys come to court, come to the lower court to deal with situations like that. And because I'm touching on this subject, let me just mention the jurisdiction of the lower court in terms of cases that they are supposed to handle, and then the value of money involved. When you go to the district court, for instance, which is the lowest of all, start from one pessoa to 500,000 Ghana cedis.
I remember I learned this when I was doing legal aspects of business.
Then you learned well.
Yeah, it was an examination question.
Then you got it right.
I got it right.
So from a pessoa to
it's coming back.
500,000 Ghana cedis, you are not trying to remember.
It's coming back.
So and then at the circuit court, from about 500 to 2 million Ghana cedis. So anything above that, then you come to the High Court. Okay. So this fiat is to the Chief Justice, notifying the Chief Justice and the judiciary of these steps that the AG had taken at the time. And the CJ has also, through a cover letter, responded, or also addressed to all the judges involved. And let me just give you what the Chief Justice said in relation to the letter, or in reaction to the letter that the Attorney General. And before then, let me just give you a quote of what the Attorney General's letter to the CJ mentioned. A point of it said that the police prosecutors have been directed to prosecute cases with monetary value not exceeding the amount of 500,000 Ghana cedis. Any case above this sum, this limit, must be referred to the Office of the Attorney General for study and advice. And it went on to say that, I am informed by the Director of Public Prosecution. If you go to the Attorney General's office, the Director of Public Prosecution is Mrs. Yvonne Atakra Obobisa. So I have been informed by the Director of Public Prosecution that due to the fact that some lower court judges are unaware of these limits, there have been instances where police prosecutors have prosecuted cases well above their mandates. I am by this letter bringing to the attention of the Judicial Service the limits imposed on police prosecutors to enable lower court judges to refuse to entertain criminal cases brought by police prosecutors with monetary value beyond the permissible limits without any advice from the Office of the Attorney General. And this one was written by Godfred Yebu-Adame, the Attorney General, the former Attorney General. And the response from the Chief Justice was very straight away, headed notice of prosecutorial limits of the police prosecutor. And this is what he says, I write with reference to the attached letter from the Office of the Attorney General and the Ministry of Justice, dated 17th February 2024, on the above mentioned subject. And he went on ahead to say that the Attorney General is by the said letter notifying the service that police prosecutors have been directed to prosecute cases with monetary value not exceeding the amount of 500,000 Ghana cedis. The letter further indicates that any case with monetary value above this limit must be referred to the Office of the Attorney General for study and advice. So the Chief Justice, and this letter was authored on the 4th of March 2024, duly notified the judges. So for those who have been asking the questions, why do we see a lot of state prosecutors at the lower court? The reason is simple. the former Attorney General Godfrey Adami wrote or gave a fiat to the police, giving them a limit of cases that they are supposed to do. If the sum involved is more than 500,000 Ghana cedis, it has to go to the office of the Attorney General for its advice.
All right. So that is with, the police prosecutors
Yes.
and all of that.
What's the latest on Beige Bank?
Yes, on the Beige Bank case. They
know why
were
I'm
in court
laughing.
yesterday.
Yeah, they were in
and
court
they will be
yesterday.
in court today too.
Absolutely.
So
That's quite a long haul.
there are plenty witnesses.
I tell you what. So before Justice Efiasewa Saribotri, and one of the judges that both of you have to find a time, then we'll have a date with her in her court to enjoy the way she conducts.
Oh, how's my
affairs.
favorite judge doing?
Yes.
Ernesto Suda.
NSO Sudafaya. You have been in his court, so
Yes.
you know what will happen. Most of the cases that are in that court will be in February. Nam1, Saglemi Affordable Housing. And sometime this week, we're telling you about some of the political cases that could be truncated by this administration. We'll highlight some of them, and then you get to know about it. Yes, but of course, relation to the Beige Bank case yesterday, Michael Nyantakyi, the former or the founder of the defunct Beige Bank, was in court in relation to the 43 counts of charges that he is facing. He's denied all of them. Prosecution called 4 witnesses to tell their story, and he had indicated earlier that he's calling 61 witnesses, but along the line it keeps dropping. But what I can tell you now, yesterday, the witness number 25 was discharged after testifying and cross-examined by state prosecutors, and to the effect that he was in court, he played a role in this whole how monies were transferred from customers' funds were transferred from one company to the other one. So he came to court to tell the court the basis with which some of these monies were transferred, whether with the attention the customers were notified. And one of the things that was raised was the fact that these monies, when transferred, the customer didn't know where their funds were going. But they have also made the point that the customers, they were emailed, there were correspondence, and all that was tendered in the evidence to show that the customers were notified where their funds were going. So today, like you mentioned, yesterday the witness was done, discharged to go, and today the indication is that witness number 26, 27, and 28, all of them will be piled up in court.
Thoughts.
As a
The thought has come at a time that when you are mentioning some of these cases, it really fits into the context,
Yeah,
right?
the witnesses are coming thoughts.
They are coming to- That's how you call witnesses. You can't bring all of them. Even the thoughts, you have to even give them time. So witness number 20 say maybe you have to come 12. Witness number 27 come at 1. Witness number 28 come at 2. The court structured the sitting in such a way, start from 12 and ends at 3 p.m.
Right.
Yeah, so today, but the indication from lawyers of Michael Nyantakyi is to the effect that the reason they want all three witnesses to come is that they will not spend so much time on them. He mentioned that they will not even take more than 20 minutes if he's to deal with them. And once that is done, you notice that they are only coming to court to identify certain documents, to make the court understand certain documents, tender it, and then sometimes the prosecution will not even cross-examine them at all if they realize that things that they have to do is not so much to the case that they have before.
All right.
So these are some of the things that we should expect in court today.
All right. Barker-Vormawor will be in court today.
Yes. I almost forgot about that.
Felony case.
The treason felony case is back in court today, and that is also one of the cases that the trial has not started. Yeah.
He was charged for treason.
2022, and
Felony.
we are in 2025. That's about almost 3
So we'll
years.
see how it plays out in court.
Will be 3 years. February 14, he was arrested on February 14. It went to
Can't even count the number of times this man has been arrested.
You know,
So
he's gained notoriety for arrest.
Well, it's one thing of taking somebody to court, and it's another thing of proving. And in our country, the only time that you understand how the law works is when you are in the grip of the police. But the time that you gain your freedom, so that's what. So he'll be in court today in relation to the 2 counts of treason felony before Justice Mary Mami Ikwe-Yenzu. And so one of the things that is expected is that there's a motion that he's expected to move. We have not even gotten to the stage where the trial is even beginning, because it's been very interesting. The case has traveled from High Court, in fact, District Court at Ashaiman, come to the High Court, went to the Supreme Court, sometime along the line went to the Court of Appeal, back to the High Court and all that. So today, he will be making his first appearance this year in relation to that case at the High Court.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you to
As
the
always, Captain Murtala Inusah.
Yes, I enjoy
This is your phone stand there. I like so.
Yes. Ketsi Ellie.
I like
What's
so.
the Ellie?
Ellie Blim.
Eli
Awuku.
Plim Awuku.
So Ellie Klima.
The
All
Korean
right.
woman.
All right, so that's it for court today.